So once you have selected the features and functions that you would like to keep from this template and add to your own site, you're really ready to customize this based on your own needs. But before we do that, we're going to have to take a look under the hood of this site because you're going to notice that there are a lot of really neat things that they do here. They embed pictures, they have blog posts, they have links, they have presentations, they have attachments, all kinds of neat stuff. And in order to do that, you have to familiarize yourself with the Google Apps platform. And remember, to find it, you're going to look for this little icon here. I usually have my Gmail up, so that's how I access it, but you can usually access it through other Gmail accounts. I'm going to look for other apps that are not on there, so I'm going to click to this long list. I'm going to go down to Home and Office because that's where all the fun stuff is. And let's start talking about Docs. Docs is Google's version of Microsoft Word, and it functions in much the same way. You would just open up a document, start typing, and it automatically saves. See, it's always saving constantly, so you don't have to click save. So it's very, very popular for students. And another reason why it's really popular is because it's easily shareable. You don't have to attach it to an email. You could just share it with your teacher automatically. So this ends up becoming a really useful tool for high school classes, especially ones that have to write essays. In addition to Google Docs, you may find Google Slides to be of some value. If you already create PowerPoint notes, it may be in your best interest to actually start using Google Slides because then you can automatically put them on your website without having to worry about any conversion issues. Sometimes when you try to save a Microsoft product to a Google account, it'll mess up the formatting. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So maybe start transitioning to Google Slides because they seamlessly embed into your website. In addition to Google Slides, you have Google Drawings. I'm not as familiar with this, but I know that people use it to create diagrams and flowcharts that they can then embed into their website. But I want to draw your attention to the calendar because I think that's one of the neater functions of the website apps that you have available to you. I like to look at it through the monthly view because it gives you a big oversight of what you're doing. And if you want students or parents or any visitor to know what you're doing in your class on a given day, you can actually create this in such a way that it tells them what you did every single day. And actually, it serves as a handy record of what you did from day to day. So let's say on the 17th, you taught a lesson about adding fractions. Okay, so you have the general overview. You don't have to keep the all day. You can make it particular to a specific time or not. It doesn't really matter. But I want to draw your attention to these two because it is a great way to record exactly what you did in class. So let's say we did some bell ringer, and then some notes, and then individual practice on a worksheet. Students and parents, anybody who is absent or needs to know exactly what you did in class that day can now see it right here. And what's even better is you can actually attach this worksheet right here. Okay, you're going to use the Google Cloud. You're going to because that's just the easiest way to do it, and I'll get to that in a second. But essentially, they have everything that they need for your class right here. You can actually include multiple attachments. So once you are ready, go ahead and save. And here it is. So anybody who wants to know what you did on the 17th can just go ahead and click on that and it will tell them. Let's go back to the apps because there's more that I want to show you. Google Drive is essentially where all of the stuff that you just made gets saved. Okay, so if you created something through Google Docs or Google Slides, it's going to be here. You see some of these untitled documents that I created. I didn't actively save it. I didn't go to click save. It just is constantly saving. So it's really great for people who forget to save stuff and are constantly afraid of losing certain revisions of a document. And what's nice is this is where you would find any documents that a student shared with you. Okay. I don't have any, but if I did, this is where they would be. This is also Google Photos, which is very, very easy to use and a great place to store your photos. You can actually even link your phone photos to this if you're running out of space on your phone. In addition to Google Drive, you are going to find that, let's get back to our list. Google Forms can be of use in Google Sheets. Google Sheets is essentially an Excel spreadsheet. So if you want to use a spreadsheet that is compatible with the Google platform, this is it. Forms you'll really only use for a couple of things. You're going to use it for surveys and for a contact form, and I'll get to that in a second. Google Translate is also an option, but beware, the translation is spotty. I know because I'm bilingual and I have looked at their translation for certain phrases, and sometimes they just plumb don't make sense. You can also look at the social section of the apps to create a learning community within the webpage. This is awesome. You have Google Groups, Google Plus, and the Hangouts. This is where you can actually communicate with your class. This is where you can actually group them into groups that they are part of and give assignments based on that. If you scroll up, you'll see some more neat stuff, things like Google Scholar, where you can actually search scholarly papers, things like Google Earth, that'll give you a panoramic view of landscapes and places throughout the world. You'll see Picasa. This is where you store pictures. For example, this picture right here was likely stored in a Picasa account. If you want to embed a video, you have YouTube, which was acquired by Google some time ago, and this is very, very easy to use, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Feel free to explore any of these other apps and consider how they might fit into your website. Once you are familiar and comfortable with these apps, though, you're really ready to start your web page. So let's go ahead and start on that.